Hello and welcome to anyone watching on the replay or anyone watching on my YouTube channel. I'm delighted to hop on today to say hello and to speak about 3 tips on how to manage and deal with anger. So when we say anger, what do we mean? Well, anger is an emotion and it's a feeling. And some people feel when they hear the word anger that it's a negative thing and that it's a bad thing and that we shouldn't experience it and it shouldn't be happening. But this is counterproductive because anger is a natural human part of the human condition. I mean, if you look at babies, when they are frustrated and they don't get what they want, they scream out in anger. It's part of the natural cycle of the human condition. So we need to realize that it's okay to experience the feeling of anger and to know that it's an emotion that needs to be felt and needs to be released. It's really important that you don't ignore the feeling of anger. Allow yourself to experience the feeling as an emotion. When it becomes a problem is the behavior that's behind the emotion. So it's not the actual feeling itself that's the problem, it's the behavior and how roiled up one gets when you're feeling angry. So anger is a spiritual quality and a material trait. So it's a positive and it can flip over into the negative when you decide to react out of it and your behavior creates difficulty. So that's the part where you need to watch. And in some cases, people feel if they get angry or frustrated, there's like an injustice done to them. And this may be true. It's the most important thing is how you manage it. That's what's important. And to realize that, yes, of course, maybe there's an injustice done. That's okay. But you have to experience your feeling. So what I'd like to say is tip 1. Tip 1 is you must acknowledge your feeling. Now, I don't know if that's come out backwards or if you can see it properly. So you must acknowledge the feeling of anger, and the moment you can feel it, frustration or anger, you say, okay, I'm angry now, and allow yourself to experience that and know it's okay. And you're not to be angry with yourself for feeling angry because that's counterproductive. So tip 1 is you must acknowledge it and know it's okay. Tip 2 is this is really powerful, okay? When you feel the feeling of anger, it's really powerful to tip 2, say it out loud. So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I feel really angry right now. And you need to say it out loud. And ideally, you need to say it to a person. Say it to somebody how you're feeling. So it has to be someone that you know isn't going to judge you, isn't going to try and fix you, isn't going to try and tell you there's something wrong with you, because there isn't. It's, like I said, it's just a feeling. It's just an emotion. And what you will say is you will say, I feel really angry right now. You don't even need to say what it's about. Sometimes if we get into the drama of what the anger is about, you're actually spreading it and making it worse. Sometimes you do need to share the experience of what it's about. But like I said, you need to make sure that the person you share it with is trustworthy, obviously, that they're not going to say it to anyone. And they're not going to try and fix you, try and change you, try and tell you what to do, because all you're doing is releasing it by saying it out loud. You just need someone to listen to you. That's all. And really, it's actually that simple. You say, I feel really angry right now. And if you do need to speak about the situation of why you feel angry, that's okay. Just make sure that you don't go into a gossiping or where you are trying to make yourself be in a self-righteous position, like you're right and the other person is wrong, or the situation is wrong. And that may or may not be true, but that's another story. That's another video that we'll talk about in the future. For now, it's just about how to manage and deal with the feeling of anger. So you will say to somebody, and I feel really angry right now about X, Y, and Z. And you got to make sure, like I said, that you're not going into a gossiping, and that it's not, you're trying to justify your own situation here and make you right and the other situation wrong, or the other person wrong, because it's not about that. Because when we get into that place, that's just the ego trying to say, well, I'm right and they're wrong. And when we're living from a space of ego, it's not our true sense, it's true self. We need to be living in a space of love. That's the true self. And like I said, that's another video that I will speak about in the future. So then once you say, I feel really angry, the next step to that is actually to say, I'm now letting go of the anger. Now, in a lot of cases, you might feel like, no way, I'm not ready to let go of the anger, and I don't want to let go of the anger. But what you need to do is, if you decide that, then you're making a choice to hang on to that anger. Now, like I said, it might not feel true for you to let it go, but I would still say, I now let it go. Even if you don't want to, still say it. And then when you let it go, it'll release. So that's tip 2. Tip 3 is very handy as well. If you're very upset about something, or something's going on a while and you've got a lot of feelings around it, and not just anger, you have frustration and confusion, you can write it out. Write down how you feel. So that's tip 3. Tip 3, write it down. I feel really frustrated. I feel really hurt, because we know anger comes from hurt. It's pain. So if you write that down and, get it all out. If you're really angry about a certain situation or about a certain person, write it down. And if it means you need to curse when you're writing it down, write it down. Just be completely honest about how you feel. This is the most important thing. Remember, if we don't acknowledge and release our emotion of anger, what happens is it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and builds. And then eventually you will explode. So what's most important is that you allow it to be there and release it. And my bonus tip with this is, if you are feeling angry or frustrated or hurt towards somebody or some situation, and you've practiced those 3 steps, even if you haven't, I definitely recommend and suggest that you send the person love and kindness. So you can, from your mind, you say, I send them love and kindness. Even if you don't want to, because you're really hurt, it's really important that you still send it, even if you feel like you're not ready to send it. The reason being is because you want to be free of the anger, because anger that's been suppressed turns into resentment. And this is like poison in the system, and you do not want to have this in your system. And the way to release this is to send love and kindness. And remember, sometimes anger, long-term anger, is turned inward towards yourself, so you would resent yourself. And that is also another video that I will speak about in the future as well, how to release resentment towards yourself, and how to recognize it. So I leave you with that, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.